Hello, YouTube. Gonna do another review. Thinking of reviewing my top 12 James Bond films, and me say like a little bit of like why each one's my favorite. So here we go. At number 12, I'm gonna put the lone George Lazenby James Bond film on Her Majesty's Secret Service, James Bond 007, from 1969, with George Lazenby as Bond. Side cover, back cover. This is the Blu-ray cover. It's yeah. It says James Bond goes undercover in the treacherous Swiss Alps in this action-packed epic filled with artillery-laden ski pursuits, incredible stunts, and non-stop thrills. George Lazenby leaps into the role of Agent 007 with supreme confidence and undeniable charisma, even finding love with the beautiful and seductive Tracy DiVincenzo, Diana Rigg. But first, Bond must stop evil genius Blofeld, Tully Savalas, from realizing a germ warfare plot that could kill millions. And some special features on this one. This is a special features one. It's got audio commentary featuring director Peter Hunt and members of the cast and crew. Casting on Her Majesty's Secret Service, press day in Portugal, George Lazenby in his own words. Shot on ice, original 1964 promo film. Swiss Movement, original 1969 featurette. Inside on Her Majesty's Secret Service, Inside Q's Lab, Above It All, original 1969 featurette. Exotic Locations, original theatrical trailer. That's cool to see. TV and radio spots. Image database. Yeah, so this one here, reason I put this in 12, like I'm not into like every single Bond film. I mean like a lot of the Bond films, like the other half, like the other like 12 or whatever there is, I just think are alright. I rate them based on like how much action there is and how much good action there is in the films. This one here, this is the high def version. You definitely would want to have this version. It's in I think it's in a 2.35 by 1 widescreen. So if you want the full picture, definitely got to have an HD TV with most likely an HDMI cable and a Blu-ray player to watch this, or maybe a 4K disc player. I don't think any of the Bond films are in 4K disc yet, so this would probably be the best copy to get. I think there's like a way, like there might be a way you can like watch this like on like a laptop or something. There might be a way. I'm not sure though. This one here, basically, it's one of the first it's like the first Bond film without Sean Connery, and it's a pretty good one. It's got some good action sequences, but it's kind of slow for me in a way throughout a lot of it. But like, I like the score at the beginning. It's like Tony Hawk actually used that exact song in a video part he did 20 years ago in 1998. That exact song on Her Majesty's Secret Service score. It was a pretty good video part for an old school. I guess it's somewhat old school now because it's 20 years ago. It's from the video The End. I'd say the skating footage goes pretty well with the music in the video. You can probably search like Tony Hawk the end video, and you'll probably find it on there. So that's Under My Secret Service, number 12 spot. Then this one here is number 11 spot. Now this one here, my view in terms of where I put this one, it might change at some point because I've actually only seen it all the way through once in the theater so far. A few years ago, less than a few years ago, and that is Spectre. 007 with Daniel Craig as Bond. In his, let me see, 06, 08, 12, 15, fourth outing as Bond. I believe he's supposed to do at least one more Bond film next year in 2019. I don't know what the plot's going to be. I don't know like anything about what the title is going to be or anything yet. I rank this one where I do because it's got some good intense action scenes, but it's really slow, and it kind of feels more like a 60s Bond film in a way, like when he's in this tux, for example, the white tux. It reminds me of like looking at like, I don't know, maybe like from Rush with Love or like Goldfinger or something. It has like that kind of feel to it. There's not really enough action. I don't buy really the love scene, like Bond being in love with the girl, what's her name, played by Léa Seydoux. Madeline Swan is her name. Film, a cryptic message from the past sends James Bond Daniel Craig on a rogue mission to Mexico City and eventually Rome, where he meets Lucia Sciarra, Monica Bellucci, who, believe it or not, is actually about 50 years old in this, and in real life, and Daniel Craig is 47 in this. So the girl's actually like around his age for real in real life, which is kind of interesting. And I think she's like the oldest Bond girl to have been considered like an actual Bond girl. Which is interesting. The beautiful and forbidden widow of an infamous criminal, Bond infiltrates a secret meeting and uncovers the existence of the sinister organization known as Spectre. Meanwhile, back in London, Max Denby, Andrew Scott, the new head of the Center for National Security, questions Bond's actions and challenges the relevance of MI6, led by M. Ralph Fiennes. Bond covertly enlists Moneypenny, Naomi Harris, and Q, Ben Whishaw, to help him seek out Madeline Swan, Léa Seydoux, the daughter of his old nemesis, Mr. White, Jesper Christensen, who may hold the clue to untangling the web of Spectre. As the daughter of an assassin, she understands Bond in a way most others cannot. As Bond ventures towards the heart of Spectre, he learns of a chilling connection between himself and the enemy he seeks, played by Christoph Waltz. Special features on this: Spectre Bond's biggest opening sequence, video blogs, and galleries. So, if I can remember, I don't think there's really that many special features on this for some reason. I'm not sure. I don't think there's that many. Yeah, there's a way you can instantly stream and download this. It's right there. It's basically what it looks like without. Let's take a look at the disc right there. So it looks like the Blu-ray. I do not have the DVD of this. I just have the Blu-ray. And this right here also says kind of how to download it or something. Here, I might go into a more in-depth review of this one sometime. I'm just not up for it right now. Just doing like a ranking of Bond films right now. So that's where I put Spectre. I'm going to put The World Is Not Enough. Pierce Brosnan's third James Bond film. This is a special edition as well. I don't think I'm going to really go too in depth about the films right now. I think I'll save that for another time. Then, yeah, I ranked this one where I rank it because if I think about it, it's a little slow. I mean, yeah, there's some good action sequences, somewhat intense, but it's not like, I don't know, the absolute best if I think about it. There's sometimes where this has been like one of my favorites, one of my top favorites, other times it hasn't. But as for at the moment, that's where I rank it. About 10, 12, 11. Yeah, so 10. Then next is, In the World Is Not Enough is from 1999. This one here, The Living Daylights. This is the VHS cover combined with one of the DVD covers, the special edition DVD cover, and I edited it a bit. I changed it up, customized it for myself because I just wanted to. It says the best Bond ever, the Washington Post. Yeah, that was their opinion at the time, I guess. This one here, it has some great scenes in it. I love, there's a scene where Bond, he has Aston Martin. It was the first time you see the Aston Martin since I think it might have been On Her Majesty's Secret Service the last time we had seen the Aston Martin. So it had been 18 years. Excuse me, I get allergies. So it's kind of cool. That's a great scene in that right there. But a lot of the film, it seems a little slow at times, but then picks up here and there and towards the end of it. It's the first of two films with Timothy Dalton as Bond. He's probably my top 3 for favorite Bonds. It's in my top 3 favorite Bonds, I'd say probably still. Next one would be You Only Live Twice with Sean Connery. This will be the only one I had with Sean Connery in my favorites here. I'm just not too into the early ones because a lot of the early ones, the action there just isn't enough for me. And when there is action, it's just not intense enough. Or it's just not good enough. Like Goldfinger, it has a bit of action, but I don't know, I just don't go for it. It's the action's not done good enough for me. So I just don't really go for it. This one was from 1967. This one was, 62, 63, 64, 65, 67. This was the 5th official James Bond film. And this was Sean Connery's second to last before George Lazenby stepped in 1969, then walked away from it. And he came back to do Diamonds Are Forever. My next one, this one might surprise a lot of people, but A View to a Kill. I like this one out of Roger Moore, actually the best. And may Roger Moore rest in peace. He passed away last year at the age of 89, and right around this time in May of 2017. Only one thing, no offense to anybody, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but with him being a James Bond actor, I just think it's really cool that he died in a year ending in 7, just because he was 007, and he was born in, I think, 1927. He would have been 90 last year. I think 1927, 2017. Born in a year ending in 7. Died in a year ending in 7. He did 7 Bond films. That's like 3 sevens right there. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, it would be cooler. It would be cool if he was still with us, but it was meant to be that he's still with us. I mean, it would have been cool if he could have made it till 2027, and he would have made it to maybe 100. That would have been pretty cool. This one here, I think it's got a lot of good action in it, basically. While the action scenes are done pretty well. I mean, yeah, some, like the green screen is a little messed up and a little off. I really like the Bond girl in this one, played by, what's her name? I can't remember what her name is. Tanya Roberts. I think she's kind of hot, kind of cute. I'm really into blondes. I don't really go for Grace Jones though in terms of looks. So I don't know. She's not my type. I don't know. It's just not. Is all. I don't know. But I like her character though. She's kind of almost like she feels kind of like a precursor to a Xenia Onatopp, who I think is great as a Bond girl. As a Bond like villainess, really. So yeah, and this was the last one with Roger Moore. I think he was about 57 in this. Let me see. Wait, he would have turned, because he would have turned 90 in 2017. Go back 30 years. That's 60 minus 2. So he would have been turning 58. Yes, he was pushing 58 at the time. He does seem to start to look a little old to be Bond at that time. I think it was good that that Timothy Dalton came in after that. And speaking of Timothy Dalton, my next favorite, my 5th favorite, I would say, is License to Kill, 007, with Timothy Dalton as James Bond in the second outing as Bond. I kind of wish he could have gotten a 3rd James Bond film, or at least maybe he could have done like some other action films, because like I thought like he was great in this, and I thought he was great in the action scenes because he did a lot of his own stunts and stuff. And like his back cover, it's kind of customized from like the original VHS cover, so I just did that because I wanted it to look like that. So you can see, it says, when Bond wants revenge, nothing stands in his way, not even their Majesty's Secret Service. I don't like to think of it, it almost says like revenge. I don't know, just personally that's how I feel. Okay, get that. Forget that. This one was from 1989. Robert Davi's in this. I thought he did a great job as the villain in this. There's a lot of great action in this. I like to think of it as like Bond, like he's like doing what he's doing because like the Americans aren't doing anything for whatever reason. But like his good friend Felix Leiter, like the authorities weren't doing anything about it. Like his friend Felix Leiter almost like got killed. He got his like leg maimed by a shark, and they killed his wife or something, which was really awful and stuff. And the cops and the Americans or whatever, and the police or whatever, did not do anything about it. And I think he just felt like maybe he should do something about it. Maybe it wasn't the best thing to do because he kind of got himself in trouble, and he ended up like resigning from Her Majesty's Secret Service. But then he ended up getting back with Her Majesty's Secret Service after. This is the side of the cover. Right here. And here's my 4th favorite. Now this could change in the future, but at the moment, right now, I'm going to put Tomorrow Never Dies. Pierce Brosnan's second James Bond film, released in 1997, with Terry Hatcher as one of the Bond girls and Michelle Yeoh as the other Bond girl, who I think is a great Bond girl in this. She does a lot of her own stunts. She's almost like a female version of James Bond, as if like James Bond did more like I don't know, kung fu or karate or jujitsu. I'm a little unsure what type of fighting it's called that she does, because I'm not really too familiar with that, with like that kind of fighting, way too much. So I know she's from, I think, China, so it'll probably be like most popular like type of like fighting over there when it comes to like hand-to-hand combat fighting and stuff. And she did a lot of her own stunts and stuff, and that was pretty cool. There's like a lot of good action sequences in this. There might be some little things that might seem kind of silly in it and done kind of a little bad, but like it's all right. I mean, like no film was 100% perfect, but this one's really good. Got Jonathan Pryce as the villain in this. The girl that Bond is with right here. You can see her. Let me point to her. Right here. I thought she was hot. Kind of wish they would have showed her a little bit more in the film. No, wouldn't have made any sense. I thought she was easy on the eyes. Yeah. I'm going with Quantum of Solace 007 from 2008. Oh, wait a minute. I messed up on one. Hang on a second. Actually, wait a minute. This one actually comes, I think, for me, before Tomorrow Never Dies. So I'll put this one before Tomorrow Never Dies. I got a little confused here how I have my DVDs lined up. So this one here, this is 2006. Casino Royale with Daniel Craig in his debut as James Bond. Eva Green as the Bond girl, as well as Katerina Marino in there. Who's in there? Judi Dench is M. I think his name is Mads Mikkelsen, who plays with Sheaf. I like this film because of the fact that like it has a lot of great action. I think Martin Campbell did an awesome job, but there's a lot of parts in it that seem kind of slow in like the second half. There's times where it picks up and there's some great action sequences and stuff, but kind of wish that like it was more like fully action packed more in a way. A little bit like I kind of wish the card scene wasn't, like the poker scene wasn't as long. I think that's my main problem. And I feel like a lot of the best action happens in like the first half of the movie. I'd almost rather it be at the end half, in a way. And I sort of customized the cover on this one as well, like because I didn't like the red cover for the widescreen version, so I like switched the covers, and I had the full screen version before, and I just put like wide and then SC, and then ended up with screen, and I did the same thing here at 2.4:1, and I put wide. Sometimes I like to customize covers and stuff. Okay. In my top three, Quantum of Solace, the second James Bond film with Daniel Craig as Bond. Side of the cover, back of the cover. The reason I ranked this one so high is because like I think it's just a good action film. And when I first saw this film, I wasn't crazy about it because like I didn't like the way it was directed at first because it just seemed like it was too like kind of like it was all over the place, and I didn't really like it. But then like I saw like 2 or 3 more times, and I was like, you know what, I actually kind of like this one or something, and yeah, this one's a good one. I would recommend it, especially if you're really into action films. This is one I would check out. If you're into James Bond, definitely. Obviously, I wouldn't. I would try not to miss this one. Sometimes this might come on TV every so often, maybe on like Bravo or something. This one here, does a lot of special features to it. This special features version. I think this might be the original special features Blu-ray of this. I think. And I think I also have a DVD version of this as well. Yeah, I have the original DVD version of this, I think, in there. And it didn't have like a second like holder, so I just like got like a paper case and popped it in there. Now okay, this is actually number 2 or number 1, believe it or not. And I'll explain in a minute. So, yep, Skyfall. I saw this one in the theater. This one here, this is the 06, 08, 12, third one with Daniel Craig as James Bond. Here's the side of the cover. This is basically the original Blu-ray cover. I remember I got this on Blu-ray probably the day it was released, or shortly after. I like this one a lot. This one's great. I mean, it feels a little slow at times, like in the middle, and it feels like it's a little bit long. Like some of it could have been cut maybe a little bit, or maybe they could have added a little bit more action into the film, I think. But I'd say it's a very good Bond film. Great action film, great James Bond film. It's the last one to feature Judi Dench as M, and we see Ralph Fiennes taking the role of M at the very end. Naomi Harris taking the role of Moneypenny, and the way Naomi Harris dresses as Moneypenny at the end reminds me of the way Lois Maxwell looked in like the early James Bond films as Moneypenny. So I think like they did a pretty good job picking her. I was a little skeptical at first. I hope they keep. And Ben Whishaw is Q in it. He's really good as well. He's really young. I like to think of him as like just like the third person to take over Q, since he's not like supposed to be the exact same Q. Like Moneypenny, she's supposed to be the same Moneypenny as always. So that's kind of why. If it was like they had like 3 different, if every Moneypenny was a different Moneypenny and each had like a different name or something, I'd say it would be different. Like with M, for example, like how they had like M was a man or something, and then all of a sudden like the old M like retired or something. I'm just gonna say it's how I like to get the old M retired, and then there's a new M, and then she died, and then we got and we have now Ralph Fiennes, who I would say is basically kind of like the M I like to think of, looks kind of like the M from like the first Bond films, in a way, sort of. And then this one here, I'd say is like either first or second right here for me now. Used to always be my absolute favorite, GoldenEye, from 1995, starring Pierce Brosnan, Sean Penn, Isabella Scorupco, Famke Janssen, Alan Cumming, Jodan Baker. I like the score, the music by Eric Serra. And then Skyfall, I love the music by Adele. Some people don't like that, but I do. I think it sounds great. It's in the like same kind of category as like the music from this, and I like that. sung by Tina Turner, Goldeneye. Great tune. They had Bono and the Edge. Theme song was written by and performed by Tina Turner. It's just action all throughout. At times it's like intense and stuff. It's just chock full of spectacular stunts. Jeff Craig's 60-second preview. Again, this is like a custom cover. Part of this was from like the original VHS cover, and I like that VHS cover a lot rather than like the DVD cover that I had with this. So like I decided to customize it for myself. The only thing that I don't like in this film is like the only problem I have with the film is like so I'm gonna leave that part out. Doesn't feel slow like at all. Doesn't feel like it's like lagging or something like in time. Like it doesn't feel like I'll get to the chase already or something, or just like get to the action. No, it's just like action all throughout. Makes me think of like the movie Cobra. Like it's just action all throughout. And even when there's not action, it's just like they're getting down to business with important stuff that has to do with the film. It's not like useless so much. At least I don't feel it is. So yeah, that's my top 12 favorite James Bond films. This was in 1995. So the first one was Pierce Brosnan. Some people might not know this. I think most people do. Some people might not know this. Maybe new people to Bond. There was no Bond film in the early 90s. Like, there was a 6-year gap in between License to Kill with Timothy Dalton and this one with Pierce Brosnan, 1995. I like the poster. It's really cool looking, I think. It looks like a real action film poster. So that's basically my top 12 favorite James Bond films. And yeah, but no, that's all.